another up close whispering and gum chewing video. Now, first of all, I'd like to apologise and say I'm really sorry for being away for so long. It was a bit of an exhausting trip, but it was also brilliant. I thought I'd talk to you guys about it today, and that is my trip to London. Now to get there, we got a train, but what you have to do is get a train from here where we live to a certain place, and then from that certain place we then go to somewhere else. Once we're at somewhere else, we have to get on the London Underground to somewhere else, and then from there we get to our destination. So it's quite a bit to do when it comes to this trip, but what was brilliant is I got to see my kids come over. We got there on the Friday, and everybody came round on the Saturday. My daughters came round with their partners. One of them did, and my other daughter came with her friend, and then it was me and Travers Lazos, and we had a brilliant time. It was so good because I saw my youngest daughter, and I haven't seen her in about 8 years, and so that was brilliant to see. Yeah, so we all had a drink and was putting music on, you know, and having a laugh. It was brilliant. Then on Sunday I went round my mum and dad's. Anyway, we've got there. I ring the bell. My mum answered. I give her a big hug. But as I'm walking into the living room, I can see someone sitting on the couch. So I walks in, and it was my sister, who again I haven't seen in years and years. So not only did I see my parents, I also got to see my sister as well, which was brilliant. Anyway, we were all sitting down and we had dinner and we were all talking, and again we had like a right laugh around there. It was fantastic. Went home, well, back to where we were staying, and then we left on Monday morning. Is where the funny little story starts. First of all, I'll tell you them in order, okay? When I was getting the tickets for the Underground, I ordered the tickets, and then it's like this slide device that you put the card in to pay. So I put the card in, ask the man. You know. So we're sitting there waiting for the man. All of a sudden he comes up with this couple. I think, oh good, here he is, the man. And this bloke says, can I use this card here on this or this or this? Can I use this then? And every time the bloke is answering him, he asks him another question and another question. I'm thinking, oh, you know, I'm trying to get somewhere, you know, I need my card. Finally the bloke stops asking his 20 questions and he's off on his merry way. So the bloke comes up to me and I said, my card's stuck. He said, oh. He goes, hang on a minute. He checks the machine number. Goes over to this bloke, the man, and goes, oh, he said his card's stuck in the machine. So the man says, oh, hang on. So now this bloke, comes up to me. He wasn't a small man. He was the size of a WWF wrestler. He went, is it really like jammed in there good? I said, yeah. I said, I can't get it out. He had these big hands. He grabbed it. He grabs the card. And he goes, and he pulls the card out. I said to him, oh, I must have loosened it, you know. Yeah, so that made me feel a bit small and weak, because he just pulled it straight out. Anyway, so I got my card back. That was one little story, right? We got the coach back because, one, it's way, way cheaper than a train, and it's just one coach from London all the way back to here. So we gets there. The coach was 11 o'clock. Now the times I've been just that little bit late, and I've got there at 2 minutes past 11. Not just once either. This has happened several times. And the coach would be gone. Everyone had been put on it and it had gone. We gets there at 5 to 11, so plenty of time. And we wait. It goes 11 o'clock. Still no coach, which also happens every time. This is how it happens. You're there on time and it never turns up on time, or you're a couple of minutes late and it's bang on time and it has gone bang on 11 o'clock, right? That's the way it works. So he was there on time, so of course the coach wasn't. So we're waiting and we're waiting and we're waiting, and then finally, about 20 past 12, the coach finally turns up. Now, as I said, it's way cheaper than a train. However, you do get what you pay for when it comes to this. Now, when you book the tickets, you have the option reserve a seat. So I always reserve a seat for me and Lassons. I'd reserved 2 seats, 4C and 4D. Right. We're queuing up, and we get on. And I look. What this company never does is put reserved on the seats. They just leave them blank. So first of all, there's a bloke sitting in our reserved seats. So I come, excuse me mate, I said, these seats are reserved. I said, they're ours. He went, oh. So he's got up. And then, as I've gone to sit down, gone, oh, I've got me water in the, in the front, in the sort of like netting. So I've got the water out. I've gone, oh, there you go. Because they never put reserved on them. They never do. But anyway, we're now sitting in the seat. All of a sudden, this old woman comes up to me, who reminded me of someone. It wasn't her, but I don't know if I've told you many, many years back when I used to be working in the camera shop, and I was covered in acne. Oh really, no guys, I'm really sorry about this on my lip. It's a cold sore. Ever since I got to London I've had it. So yeah, I apologise about that first. But yeah, when I worked in London, this old woman came in. I was smothered in acne and everything. I looked awful. And she went, what's wrong with your face? I said, it's age. She went, no. Anyway, the woman looked like that. Bear that in mind. So she's going up to this woman who's sitting opposite, going, oh, asking her something. All of a sudden the woman goes, well, that's 4D there, which is my seat that I have reserved. So she comes up to me, because I'm sitting in 4D. I said, I've reserved these seats. She went, no, it says on the phone, look, instead of me just saying, go and tell the driver, it's nothing to do with me. You know, I don't work here. I don't have to sort out your problems. But I don't, because I'm too nice. So I said, alright, let's have a look. I look at the phone, I haven't got me glasses on. I go, hang on a minute, let me just get me glasses. So I'm rummaging around in my pocket to get me glasses. She then goes, give me back my phone. I go, yeah then. I said, I'm only looking for my glasses. She goes, this is my seat. I said, it's not. Gets me glasses. She goes, I go, let's have a look. There is nothing, guys, on her ticket that says she's reserved a seat. I said, where does it say you've reserved a seat? I said, you haven't reserved one. She goes, it's there, look. She goes, there. I'm looking, there's nothing there. So there's nothing there. You know, she goes, it's there, look. I said, there's nothing there. I said, look at mine. You know, and I started thinking about Snatch, you know, when Vinnie Jones goes, yours has replica written down the side, and mine Desert Eagle 0.50. You know, yours has nothing. You've paid 14 quid because you haven't reserved a seat. I've paid 22 because I reserved 2 seats. You know, I said, look, reserved 4C and 4D. So, like most people that confront me, don't believe me. So she gets her phone, gives it to this woman who's sitting there, you know, for her to read it, because she clearly doesn't believe me. I've just sat in a seat that's reserved by her and am refusing to get out, you know. That's the kind of bloke I am, right, you know. It's me. Jesus, music man. I'm the nicest guy on the planet Earth. Anyway, gives it to the woman. Woman goes, there's nothing on there that says you've reserved a seat. She goes, oh, okay. You know, no apology. Didn't say sorry or nothing to me. She goes, oh, okay, thank you. And she was with her son. So she went, oh, come on. I said, there's loads of seats. I said, they're all empty. I said, they may not be reserved. I said, like, you know, don't sit there. There was loads of empty seats. The coach weren't even full. You should end up going somewhere else at the back of the coach. But, you know, at the end of the day, they don't put reserved. They used to put these things like hoods over the headrest that said reserved, so people knew. Not that that would have even mattered, because she thought she had a reserved seat. But what seat? See, this is where I start thinking, guys. I start to think, why was it she thought she had 4D? And who's sitting in 4D? Poor me. No one else. I mean, another woman, come on. Actually, someone was sitting there in her seat that was reserved, and she went, oh, you know, it's reserved. I said, oh, you know, get up and walk off. But yeah, very, very poorly run, this coach company. But at the same time, it's also incredibly cheap, so I can't really complain. But guys, brilliant to see you. I'm back. They call me Slim Shady. I'm back. And I've got loads of things to show you. I've got so many cool things from London to show you all. And I'll be doing that in later videos, okay? But I'm back now. I thought I'd give you a nice gum chewing, and also with the up close whispering. I will be doing this all the time now, guys, because I'm not being funny. When I'm listening to it back through the cans, I like it too, and it does sound so much better with the up close. So I will be doing it from now on. Alright, all my videos are going to be like it. I will be back, guys, very, very soon. It's brilliant to see you all. I look forward to seeing you all in the comments. But in the meantime, have yourself